Right now, there are multiple high ticket coaches out there that are signing multiple clients per month. And the craziest part is they're not running any like cold outbound campaigns or like spending like thousands of dollars on ad spend, but they're following this exact YouTube strategy that I'm about to showcase in this video. And I know you're stuck posting daily content that you think converts, but it actually doesn't. And you're chasing likes and followers, and you believe that the content that you're posting will help you sign clients, but in reality, your calendar is empty when you post. So, if you're struggling with these problems, 20 minutes of your time, I'll reveal exactly how you can sign $6,000 coaching clients in the next 30 days with this exact strategy. Now, without further ado, let's just get right into it. But I want to run you over like the exact things we're going to be going over. So, I'm going to be going over the brand identity that you need to build in order to sign consistent clients and actually differentiate yourself from your market. Then I'm going to tell you the proven concept strategy that you can implement to start seeing results from the content that you post on YouTube instantly. And then I'm going to run you through the social acquisition funnel that you can implement to not only attract but also nurture and convert the viewers that you're getting and the viewers that you're getting in your funnel. So let's just get right into it. The first thing is brand identity. Now, when it comes to, let me just make my marker a little shorter. But anyway, when it comes to investing into high ticket offers, you need to understand that people don't buy coaching programs, they don't buy services, and they certainly don't buy offers. But what you need to understand is that they buy from people. They buy from people, and especially people they know, like, and trust. Now, if you don't have these components, you're never gonna basically see people investing in your offer. When I audit, like, and I need to tell you something, when I audit successful coaches, consultants, and agency owners, these are the components they have in place when they're creating that in their brand identity. And this is the ultimate branding blueprint you can execute on. Now, first thing is, let's start with visual, because the first thing when you hop on someone's page, when you hop on someone's channel, you are visually, if you like it, you're visually appealed. Now, what makes you visually appealed? Maybe it's the colors that they're using, the fonts. You haven't seen that like around, you haven't seen it in the space that you're operating it in. Maybe it's their background, or maybe it's just the clothes that they're wearing. It resembles the style that you wear. Now, it could be the visual, but it's branding is not only visual. You need to understand that branding goes much deeper than the visual component. It goes into personality. Now, you're not gonna watch someone if you don't like them. Same is the case with, if you're not gonna hang out with someone you don't like. The personality component has the tone that you're using. Now, is your tone a little straightforward? Is it like a little laid back? Are you like creating urgency in the content that you're creating? You could also do like the language. Is it like more friendly? Is it more like nerdy? Is it more towards the high level side? You need to dial in the language that you're using. And lastly, it's the energy level. Are you speaking in a very loud manner, or are you a little toned down and you're speaking like you're chewing your words properly? Like, what is the energy level that you're creating content in? Now, lastly is the messaging. Now, the messaging is extremely important, because if you are creating content, which I know you are creating content to actually like convert the viewers that you're getting into buyers, then your messaging needs to be dialed in. And the way you can dial in your messaging is by showcasing your unique business model and just promoting your unique business model in the videos that you create. Because let me give you an example. For example, we all know the model of SMMA, but what Braz skills that to differentiate himself is that he simply just labeled SMMA into freelance brand scaling. That's his unique business model, which he promotes in every one of, like mostly every single video that he creates. You also need to dial in your values. Like, what are the values that you stand by? What are your morals? Like, what are the things that you stand for, and what are the things that you don't? This seems like little stuff, but it actually just contributes a lot when a person is thinking about investing into your offer. And you also need to like make it clear about the problem that you're solving. If a person is trying to learn drop shipping, they shouldn't come to you if you're a SMMA coach, and vice versa. You need to make it clear from day one, like the problem that you're solving and who this channel is specifically made for. And then your unique selling point. Now, it is different to your unique business model. Unique selling point is comes down to you. Like, what is something that makes you different from the market that you're operating in? Like, let's say maybe you get things done in a speedy manner, or maybe you're just really fun to work with. Whatever the case is, you need to understand and identify your USP, and once you have that, you need to promote it and make everyone understand what your USP is and how you are different from the market that you operate in. Like, once you have these are the three main components of the branding blueprint, and if once you have these dialed in, you will like create a brand that will differentiate you from the market. Now, you should also apply the concept of stealing like an artist. And the reason why this is so important, because a lot of people say, oh, don't copy, but the greatest people, they see like people who are actually succeeding with YouTube and getting clients from YouTube, or simply just stealing like an artist. They're not reinventing the wheel. They're not doing something that doesn't work. They're not making something up and just posting it and hoping that it works. They understand and see how their market is working, operating, what are the videos that your market is liking, what are the videos that your market isn't liking, and then they create content based on the information they have. They see like an artist. They always see winning concepts that are working, which I'm going to explain more into in part 2. They always see winning concepts that's working, and they just implement it in their own way and implement it in their own style, tailored to them. Now, there are 3 things you need to understand when it comes to stealing like an artist. Number 1, you need to study your niche. You need to study your niche, or maybe it's people outside your niche, but you need to study. This is extremely important. Your competitors slash market, the titles and thumbnails that are working, the hook and CTAs that are performing well, and the conversion tactics that are allowing viewers to turn into leads. That's the first part. The second part is to extract. You need to identifying and studying is extremely important, but it's of no use if you don't actually extract the information and tailor it accordingly. So you need to extract the outlier ideas that are currently performing well. Then you need to find what is the winning element that made that idea pop off. Maybe it's the thumbnail, maybe it's how the idea is structured, maybe it's the hook, whatever. Define the winning element, and then see what type of retention tactics the creator uses to actually keep the person hooked and stay for more than the average of time, so that you can implement the same retention tactics. Maybe it's prompting the viewer, oh, they're gonna get something at the end if they watch the video or whatever. And then you need to see the pattern of like, what is the pattern of the video, so that you can replicate it. The third thing is to recreate. You need to recreate by adapting the ideas in your niche, like whatever your niche is, adapting the ideas in that. You need to like talk about your contrarian perspective in the content that you're creating, because this is extremely important, because then that makes the content like something that isn't copied but tailored. You need to like push out your USP, and you need to, in order to make the content engaging, you need to say like, you need to talk about anecdotes, maybe tell about stories that happened in order to get a certain point across. So that's the first point. And if you can get the branding identity blueprint dialed in, then you'd, or like maybe not now, but maybe like 2-3 years from now, this is going to help you a lot in actually, in this is optimized for longevity, so it's definitely something you should start implementing. The second thing is the proven concepts. Now, the formula is pretty simple. Most people like to overcomplicate it, but it's pretty simple. You need to find a winning format, you need to add your own unique touch, and then you make a lot of money. Now, most people watching this have no research process in place when it comes to identifying and implementing content ideas that convert, which is why your average your videos perform averagely, and you have an empty calendar. You're not booking any calls from the videos that you're creating, and your time is being wasted because you're just hoping something sticks, but not actually having research and data behind the videos that you're creating. Now, why does this matter to implement the proven concepts that are already working? Well, because it is validated demand. Like, there's demand out there. The only thing that you have to do is actually deliver, which makes things much easier on your end. You also know that these things are trending. So if you get on the wave right now, it's not too late, and you can actually and you know that your videos will work because it is the ideas, the whatever is trending, and it's repeatable frameworks. You're not coming up with something new, something's already made up, and you just, it's a repeatable framework. The only thing that you have to do is execute. There's no guesswork, so you don't have to see like, oh, maybe this might work, maybe this won't work or whatever. You know it will work. The only thing that you have to do is post. And attention conversion, meaning that it will not only get you attention, niche down attention, but it'll get you the most important thing, which is leads, which is calls, which is clients. And then maximize ROI. You are creating content, intentional content, which is the right word. You're creating intentional content, which will help you maximize the ROI you're getting on the activity of creating content. Now let's get on to with the steps. The steps are pretty simple. First step is the finding process. Now you need to use the extension vidIQ, and this is extremely important. In fact, that if you don't have it, you should download this extension because it's going to help you with the other steps. Then you have to search your niche. It could be your niche, or you could just like start off with searching like people outside your niche, like dropshipping, AI agency, wholesaling, Amazon FBA, whatever make money online niche. Then you create a database of niche YouTube channels. This is actually a database I use for myself and I give to my clients, which is extremely important because you're not like, you have a system in place and you're just like using that. You're not searching content again and again. You're not searching channels again and again. You're just adding to the existing database that you already have, and then you compile the winning videos that are working. And then step 2 is to spot out outliers. Now with this extension that you have, the vidIQ extension, you're going to see these 32.8x outlier, 14.5x outlier. Basically, if the winning videos are if the videos that are outliers, you're gonna see these components with it. Whatever videos that are surpassing the channel's average performance or outlier videos. So you basically spot them and then you compile them in the outlier list. And the last step is to replicate at scale. Now you need to post at least 1 to 2 videos for this to actually work out. Micro niche YouTube videos, not just some broad content, but like micro niche YouTube videos. Then you need to acknowledge your mistakes. A lot of people get this wrong, is that they don't they just post and then they keep on posting, but they don't know what they're doing wrong. So the next video that they post is with mistakes, the same mistakes as well. So instead you need to acknowledge, like what we do is that we acknowledge, once we post, we acknowledge the mistakes that we've made, like okay, this could have been done better. Then we note down the improvements, which is extremely important. You can do this with AI. If you have an agency to do it for you, can like, they're going to be doing it for you like we do for our people. So you basically need to note down the improvements, and then you just rinse and repeat the process, and this is basically a feedback loop. Now this is only a small part of the process. You still need to validate the outliers. You need to have research driven packaging, like the thumbnails and the titles need to be on point, and you need to have the conversion components in place to actually like turn the viewers that you have into leads, like I said. Now if you've made it this far to the video and you want me to actually map out everything for your situation so you can avoid most of the mistakes people make, then book a call in the description below and I'll personally run you through everything. Now let's get into step 3, which is the final part, the social acquisition funnel. Now it has 2 components involved. 80% of the social acquisition funnel is operated by YouTube and 20% is operated by Instagram. This looks simple, but this is where 90% of people actually fail, because it's not about using YouTube and Instagram together, but it's actually about how they work together in order to pre-sell your offer. You need to understand how each piece connects, so that like how the YouTube content connects with the Instagram content. You need to understand that. Now let me run you through the YouTube ecosystem first. Now there are 3 parts of the ecosystem: top of the funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of the funnel. Let's start with the top of funnel content. It's pretty simple. The top of funnel content attracts niche attention, so it's broader than usual, but it attracts niche attention. It doesn't attract like someone outside your niche. It's broad but attracts niche attention. It sets up the stage of the content that you're going to be posting in the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel. And it creates curiosity, meaning like makes a person want to click and actually explore your channel and actually view your video. It also educates the viewer to some extent about like the business model that you're running, or maybe you as a person or whatever. For example, like I made a breakdown exposing how breast scale actually makes 1 million at 21. So this is a top of funnel video, same as like micro niche YouTube channels or the cheat code to getting rich. One of the videos we made for our clients, I moved these three our client Jacqueline, like I removed these three limiting beliefs and now I make 200k per month. Like, what were the three limiting beliefs? It creates curiosity, and hence the person wants to know, like, how is she making 200k per month? What are the limiting beliefs that she removed in order to get to that level? And then they click on the video, and then they move on to step 2. Which is middle of funnel content. Now, middle of funnel content, it might not get a lot of views. In fact, it won't get a lot of views, but the views it does get is of quality. The main job of middle of funnel is to nurture the viewer, is value driven, so it educates people more on the business model that you're running, and then also it does, like, it is content that shifts the paradigm of the viewer, belief shifting content, and it creates a lot of trust. So for example, one of the videos I created, how to sign high ticket clients with YouTube in 2025. In this video, I go in depth of how like people can actually sign high ticket clients through the mechanism of YouTube. And one of the like I said, Jacqueline, she did how I find winning products to sell on Amazon in FBA in 2025. Now this is a core like pain point that most people in her niche have, and then she creates the content accordingly. And then the last part is bottom of funnel content. Now this is just and then the last part is bottom of funnel content. Now anyone who is like struggling to take the step to actually invest or book in a call, this is for those people. This is a gentle reminder that your offer works, like your mechanism works, and people who aren't like investing or missing out. So like this can be done through case study videos, like case study breakdowns, like hot contrarian takes that you have, and conversion, such as like client interviews, student interviews, whatever. Like one of the case, like I did a case study breakdown, which is like we helped Jacqueline book 7 calls in 24 hours using Instagram story sequences and YouTube. So I actually made a breakdown of that. You can check it out, it's on my channel. But that's how you can actually create bottom of funnel content. Now the IG ecosystem is second. It is 20%, but it's still important because you're going to be leaving money on off the table if you don't have like a dialed in IG ecosystem. So the first thing is the profile. You need to be explaining what you do, like your unique mechanism, social acquisition funnel, like who is it for, and then you could redirect them to like a case study. You could redirect like a case study, or your YouTube channel is the main thing that you need to redirect them to. And the links, I have 2 links, which is one, the case study breakdown, and I got featured in Airmail, so I have like also I lead people towards that as well, which this builds insane amount of authority. Then for your story highlights, you have like maybe some of your life that shows people like, oh, like you're like living a good life and all of that stuff. You also need to have like client highlights dedicated to your clients or students, in which you basically break down their results or you showcase the results, whatever. And then you have like a highlight based on value, in which you basically give out value. Maybe like you redirect them to specific YouTube videos, all of that stuff. Then comes story sequences. This was the story sequence that helped my client book 7 calls in 24 hours with this exact story sequence. Let me just break it down. This is one of the sequences that you can use, like the layout of the sequence. Number 1, it's a hook. You basically need to hook your audience into like why should they see the next story sequence. Over here she has like big announcement, and then she like basically just tells a little bit about like herself and her life. Then you have to give like your own proof, which is like important because you're doing the stuff that you say you're doing. So you give your own proof. Then you give a student result, which is like, oh, it's not only working for me, it's also working for other people. And then you build a little scarcity, like, oh, I'm looking for like 5 students who will be working with me one-on-one to make their first 10k with Amazon FBA. So like 5 students only, this is your chance. And then you lead them to the next story, and then you give like a CTA. It's that simple. We also have multiple sequence frameworks, but this is just one of them. And then DM setting, it's very simple. People reply to your story, or they'll just like follow you and like message you, and then you have to like message after they follow, or like message them back when they reply to your story. And then you basically like try to convert them, like the conversion process starts. Then you filter them, like what the conversion process starts, but like what if they like not the right person, like they like the timing isn't correct or just not the right person, so you filter them out. And once they're filtered, like once they actually qualify, like your qualify for the criteria that you have, then you like prompt them to book a call, and that's what happens. So anyway, this is the entire three-step framework for you to book $6,000 coaching clients in the next 30 days. If you want me to implement all of this for you and work one-on-one with me, you could check the link in the description below, book a call, and I'll see you in the next video. Do subscribe, because we're going to be coming out with a lot of content like this that is going to help you craft the like social acquisition funnel so that you can sign high-ticket clients. Thank you.